and you don't mind that the NPCs are a little soulless. So it has been about 2 weeks since Faefarm has released, and Faefarm is one of my most highly anticipated games, and I received a free review code for Faefarm to check it out. I wanted to give a little first impressions review to you guys, let you know what I think, pros and cons. Is it worth the $60, which is a controversial topic that has been for this game. I want to also say thank you to Phoenix Labs for gifting me a review code so I can let you guys know how it is. Actually, before I get started, I have to plug my name in, of course. My name is Delaney if it's your first time clicking on one of my videos, and I like talking about games. I like rambling and doing live streams now, so if you want to come and hang out, like and subscribe and comment down below as well. So let's get started. I have done a little pros and cons list of Faefarm. Let's see, I'm gonna start out. So first, if you haven't played Faefarm, you haven't heard of it, if you've been on the rock, no. If you don't know what it's about, Faefarm is a cozy, magical farming sim game where you receive a message in a bottle in your mundane town asking you to come to Azoria if you are ready for adventure and a slow life of farming, and also to help town Azoria by the town mayor, Mayor Marriott. So as you make your journey there, and you are given a little farming plot, and you get to try to help the town of Azoria, which has been plagued with these mysterious whirlpools, and you just progress and build your life there. And that's pretty much like the gist of it. Like it kind of bypasses that trope of the inheriting a farm from like a grandparent. So I wanted to get into some of my pros of Faefarm. So my first impression, like my first thing about Faefarm that I realized as soon as I started playing is it's just so pretty. Like I love the sounds, the nature sounds, the fauna and the flora. The town of Azoria, like aesthetically, it looks so pretty and magical. It kind of is like a little mix between like a medieval fairy cottagecore, like kind of in that realm, with like just running around the town in general, and it just makes me just kind of really love running around and exploring. I really also love that there's little mushrooms, these sparkly mushrooms that you can jump on to like get to higher places, and just all around I just like the vibes of the world. Farming, I also think that it does have like a nice quality of life improvement when it comes to farming sims in general. Farming is pretty straightforward. They give you the seeds to start your plot. You have, instead of using a farming hoe, you craft the plots so you can be able to plant your seeds. But I also like that it automatically changes in between your farming tools, because I always kind of have a little trouble fiddling between my farming tools, and so it does improve that part of like the farming aspect. You go up to a tree, it automatically switches to your axe. Go up to your like the plants to cut down, it automatically switches to like your what do you call it, sickle, is that what it's called? I can't remember right now, but it automatically switches your tools over when you're in your area. It's done in chapters, but really early on it introduces you into farming, into caring for animals. And the animal design, I think, is literally the most adorablest animal design that I've seen for a farming sim. Like it's really unique. It's not like your generic cows and chickens, even though the chicken does look like a chicken. You care for your animals, like very simple. You have to like basically give them attention, pet them, feed them, make sure they're outside for fresh air. I will say it gets a little glitchy when you're farming and you have your animals outside, because the same button to pet them is the same button for you to do your farming things. So sometimes the animals get in the way. It does get slightly annoying. So I try to like, there's like a little animal lure that keeps the animals in one area. So I try to do that, so when I'm farming, they don't get in the way. I feel like my favorite part though so far has been, since I'm still in the early chapters, I still have not received my wings yet. So it's making you work a little bit for getting like, it's making you grind a little bit before you are able to upgrade your abilities, your magical abilities. But so far I've upgraded a majority of my tools. So right now my biggest task is working in the mines, which I actually really enjoy. The combat is very simple. I kind of hope that later on you get a little bit better, like a little bit more like maybe combo moves or something when it comes to the combat. It's not too bad. So there's these things that, which I like the story behind. There's this thing called jumbles, which are like discarded like furniture from like the people in the town. They somehow got like extra magic on them, and they ended up locking them away in the mines. So the deeper deeper you go into the mines, the more jumbles you find, which I think that the creatures in the mines are actually really clever. Like, it's really simple when it comes to like the combat, so it's just usually like 1 or 2, 3 hits that takes them out, and then I just go about mining. I do love the music, especially in the mining area, especially when you know there's an enemy around. It's a nice mix of like mischievous, and it's just like calming to me. Like, I kind of like hearing the music of the enemies. It's like one of the only times where I hear the enemy music and I don't instantly want to run away like Zelda. Another pro that I really like about Faefarm also is the decorating. I haven't gotten super in depth into the decorating, but so far I do like that the decorating is what helps you up your stats when it comes to like your health, your mana, and your stamina. So based on the furniture, the cozy furniture that you are decorating with in your house, it ups your stats and gives you more levels you up a bit when it comes to those like stats for it, which I think is interesting. So it gives it a little bit more strategy when you're decorating. And so those are some of my pros so far that I like about Faefarm. So now I'm gonna get into my cons of Faefarm, and the cons for me the most are the NPCs just don't do anything. My favorite thing about farming sims is being able to talk to the characters, learn more about the world, and you know, you pick your favorite character, you pick your, you like to get the town gossip and like to run around. But with these NPCs, even I thought it was just relative to the people you are buying from, like in the town center. They have like the same generic words, but all of the NPCs have the same, like they say the same things over and over again. Like every time I've never clicked so fast when I hear talk to an NPC and they say like, oh, it's spring, I can't wait to pick berries. I've seen that like probably every NPC I've talked to. Even like the ones that are romanceable are just like the regular townspeople, and it doesn't feel like a lived, like the people just feel like husks of like a character, I want to say. Like I couldn't tell you one name of an NPC other than when they're giving me a quest. So that is like that's really off-putting for me, and I really wish they took more time to work on like the character dialogue, as well as like just like the making the world feel a little bit more lived in when it comes to the characters that live in this town, you know. So that's like one of my cons. Another con that I have is that the romanceable characters, if you want to gift them things, you can't just like, okay, I made something to gift them, just like to have a gift to give. It's kind of locks behind something specifically that they would want that day. So I noticed that each day the thing that like specifically for the romanceable characters, those are actually the only ones you can gift to. You go up to them, there's like an option that tells you like they want like grilled fruit that day or something along those lines. So you can only specifically give them that gift, which I find it to be a little bit more like constraining when it comes to trying to like up your stats with NPCs that you are talking to. With the romanceable characters, and also the romanceable characters, there's only 6 characters so far. I know there's supposed to be another update into next year, so hopefully that expands more with the romanceable characters, but so far it's very slim pickings for romanceable characters. The other thing is the story is just a little bland so far. I'm not really deep into the story chapters, but I'm not super invested in it, other than like it's more still like tutorial stuff. Even though I'm in chapter 3, I'm still like learning the ropes, so maybe it picks up a little bit towards the end. I hear there's like a few chapters. I guess after those chapters is just kind of open-ended to what you can do, is what I'm assuming, which is so unfortunate because I really love the world and just find it to be so beautiful and magical. So I kind of want a little bit more when it comes to just like the NPCs and the dialogue. Yeah, but so the last thing is just selling your items. It is a little bit, it's also constraining. So you sell your items in the town at the market, and they give you 4 tables which can fit up to 8 items. You can't stack those items. So say you had 10 berries that you collected, or like you collected 10 butterflies. Those 10 butterflies, only 8 of them are gonna fit on a table, and whatever fits on that table is what you can sell at the market for the day. There is like another quest that comes up, which I don't know if that's a spoiler, but they do later on start to give you an option to have another market table. I just find that to be a little bit constricting, considering when I really go on my farming and expand it more, I can only put about 32 items or so, depending on if I decided to expand the extra table they give. I can only put a few items out, and it makes it like for grinding for money, it does make it a little bit slower, which I kind of don't like. A farming sim, the best part is like you reaping the benefits when you are able to expand your farm and to plant more and grow more crops. So that's a little bit, I don't know about the decision. So I do like how it's displayed on the table. I can see the things that you are putting out on the table. Is kind of cool to see, but it just really just kind of sucks that it is constrained to only a certain amount of items. Like I don't really understand why that is the way it is. So yeah, those are some of the pros and cons. So now we have our final question, which is it worth it? Who is Faefarm for? As I mentioned before, I was gifted Faefarm by Phoenix Labs. Gladly love that I was able to get a review code for Faefarm, but the actual price tag, I'm playing it on my Steam Deck. The actual price tag, there's 2 tiers in Steam, which is $40 and $60 for the deluxe edition. Comes compact with the DLC once those things come out, and then it's just a flat $60 rate on the Switch. So is it worth it? I want to say yes and no. It depends on the person. Kind of reminds me a lot of Animal Crossing. Like it's a little bit sandboxy with the farming elements. Like you can kind of do what you want. I feel like on my Steam, even though I'm wondering if that's counting for idle time, but I have about 50 hours in it, which kind of went by really fast considering it's only been 2 weeks. And I would say the gameplay is not terrible. It's actually really a lot of fun. It has all the things that I look for in a cozy game. Like if you're a type of person who you want a farming sim that also includes having like a good story, very fun NPCs to talk to and dialogue, then I would say this wouldn't be for you. But if you're a person who's into like grinding, like, and who likes like the daily task of like farming and mining, fishing, and all of those things, I'd say that this would be the perfect game for you. If you're like choose your own adventure type of person when it comes to farming sims, and you don't mind that the NPCs are a little soulless. But to answer the question of is it worth the $60, like mostly on the Switch, I would say I would wait for a sale, if I'm being wholly honest with you guys, because there is a lot of things to do, but there are other games that are for a lower price tag, such as Coral Island or Stardew Valley, that gives you a lot more content when it comes to like storylines and NPCs and just the world in general. And I wouldn't recommend it at the full price tag. I would say that if you want to wait for a sale, that this is the perfect game for that, or if you have the means to purchase it on PC. $40 price tag on the Steam, I feel like is a better deal than paying the full rate on the Switch if you don't have the means to do that. So that is my recommendation for Faefarm, my honest thoughts on Faefarm. And thank you so much Phoenix Labs for gifting me a review code and letting me play through Faefarm. I do plan on doing a live stream of it and starting a new farm for the channel, so if you want to check that out, it's probably coming up soon. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I tried to give as much of my honest thoughts on it as I could. So if you haven't played Faefarm, let me know down in the comments what you think of it. And if you haven't picked it up, what do you think now? Are you picking it up, or are you gonna save it for a sale later? Let me know down in the comments. I hope all of you guys are doing well, and if you made it to this far into the video, thank you so much for watching. As always, have a wonderful day and see you in the next video. Bye.